Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, as usual, updates on the market, and so many to say on manager, on some players, on new opportunities. Let's jump into it together. And here we go, guys, with a busy night, a busy evening with several updates we had. And so let's recap all of them. Let's give more details. Let's give more insights. So let me start with the two here we go completed today. The first one, Noah Lang is traveling from Napoli to Istanbul to join Galatasaray. 2 million euros loan fee, 30 million euros option to buy clause not mandatory. The salary eventually, if Galatasaray sign Noah Lang on a permanent deal from Napoli in the summer, will be 4 million euros net per season. Noah Lang tonight in Istanbul to join Galatasaray, and so an important signing for the Turkish giants. And then leaving Napoli and joining Nottingham Forest, Lorenzo Luca. Agreement done, 1 million euros loan, 35 up to 40 million euros total package for Luca to join Nottingham Forest from Napoli. Buy option clause not mandatory also in this case, so not mandatory for Noah Lang, not mandatory also for Lorenzo Luca. Agreement done with the player, and so Luca traveling to England, Noah Lang traveling to Turkey, joining Nottingham Forest and Galatasaray, and now Napoli ready to sign Giovanni, Brazilian striker from Verona, and more to follow very soon. Talking about Brazilians, guys, we have a lot of Brazilian flair in this video because, first of all, Casemiro announces what was already in the air, but now is official. Casemiro will leave Manchester United at the end of the current season on a free transfer, because the decision has been made. Man United will not trigger the option to extend the contract of Casemiro. The decision has been made, so Casemiro contract will not be extended. Casemiro also knew about that already some time ago, but wanted to announce this immediately to be very clear with Man United fans, very clear with Man United teammates. So it's now confirmed Casemiro will leave on a free transfer in the summer, and it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with him. Because always several clubs have been interested in Casemiro, especially from Saudi. In the last 2 years, he had several opportunities to go to Saudi, with Al Ittihad, with Al Nasser, and more. So several options. He wanted to stay at Manchester United, compete at his very best at Manchester United, and he's not leaving now, remember. He's leaving in the summer, so now Casemiro remains fully focused on Man United for the current season. He wants to finish the season in the best way possible, and then in the summer pick his favorite destination. We will see whether it's going to be Saudi, whether it's going to be Europe, or maybe MLS. We will see. There is a lot of interest in Casemiro after a legendary career, leaving Manchester United at the end of the current season with a beautiful, beautiful letter and statement for all Manchester United fans. On Brazilians, before returning on Manchester United, because there is something more to say, the manager of the Brazilian national team, Carlo Ancelotti, since Carlo Ancelotti arrived, the atmosphere in the Seleção, in the Brazilian national team, looks different. Finally, after difficult years, you can see the impact on Ancelotti in the dressing room, the impact of Carlo Ancelotti on the pitch, in terms of tactics, in terms of approach, in terms of working together, players, manager, staff, new generation, old generation, all together. And so the Brazilian Federation have offered a new contract to Carlo Ancelotti until the World Cup 2030, and the conversation is underway. The conversation is advancing to final stages. As Globo reported, the agreement is close between Ancelotti and the Brazilian Federation. Ancelotti could sign his new contract with Brazil before the World Cup 2026. So in the upcoming weeks, Ancelotti, his lawyers, people close to him, are negotiating this new contract with Brazil, but is very close, progressing well, and so Ancelotti could really accept to stay, to continue with the Brazilian national team even before this World Cup, showing total confidence in the project from the Brazilian Federation and from Carlo Ancelotti himself. So let's follow these steps, but the contract is getting ready. On Brazilians, guys, there is another interesting story to mention today, and this about Douglas Luiz. Why about Douglas Luiz? Because Douglas Luiz is currently on loan at Nottingham Forest from Juventus. He's a loan deal with an option to buy that can become mandatory at the end of the season under certain conditions, appearances of the player with Nottingham Forest. These appearances are not being made. Why? Because it's very clear that Nottingham Forest manager Sean Dyche doesn't see Douglas Luiz as a crucial, untouchable player. And this is why the camp of the player and Juventus, owners of Douglas Luiz, are considering a new loan in the January window. So to formally do something like return to Juventus, interrupt, loan to Nottingham Forest, and loan the player to a new club. Well, the club now trying to make something happen is Chelsea. Despite some calls with Aston Villa, at this stage the situation is not advancing. Chelsea already made an approach to understand the situation, to try to understand if it's possible to do a loan deal also, in this case, for this opportunity to go for Douglas Luiz. Loan deal with no obligation to buy. So it's important to say that Chelsea don't want any obligation to buy, don't want any guarantee on a permanent transfer, only a loan deal, eventually with a buy option, but not with an obligation to buy. Why? Because Chelsea have Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea have, obviously, Moi Caicedo, Chelsea have also more players like Andrei Santos, but also Romeo Lavia, Dario Essugo. These two, Lavia and Essugo, have suffered many injuries, and so Chelsea want to add one more midfielder to give depth and to help Liam Rosignol. Well, that midfielder could be Douglas Luiz. Chelsea already wanted the player in January 2025. Then the deal was not possible with Juventus. Now Chelsea again interested, in contact with Bertolucci, the agent of the player, and in contact with Juventus to understand if he can leave Nottingham Forest or not. So Chelsea interested in Douglas Luiz on loan to provide depth to the midfield. So let's see how this one is going to advance. And on midfielders, guys, Casemiro leaves Manchester United, but this also means that Manchester United in the future want to give, of course, space to Kobbie Mainoo. After rejecting loan proposals in August, after rejecting loan proposals in Manchester United remain keen on extending the contract and signing a new contract with Kobbie Mainoo. So not the same contract, of course, different terms, different salary. But remember what I told you in a video last week. I told you, Kobbie Mainoo very happy with Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick very happy with Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie finally started the game after he started at 0 in Premier League with Ruben Amorim this season. So completely different feeling with the new manager. Now, if this is going to continue, Manchester United are prepared to discuss new contract with Kobbie Mainoo. It's something I told you in the past few days, and I maintain today. Man United believe the contract of Kobbie Mainoo, especially after the decision to part ways with Casemiro at the end of the season, not in January, is really one of the priorities. So contract talks to continue between Man United and Kobbie Mainoo after the arrival of Michael Carrick and the trust from the club. Kobbie Mainoo is more than happy to stay if he's playing, and now he's playing. And so, for sure, Manchester United will be in contact with the camp of Kobbie Mainoo. It's not something to agree today, tomorrow, tonight. It's going to take some time. But Man United's intention is to show their confidence in Kobbie Mainoo. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from Carlo Ancelotti to Douglas Luiz, Casemiro, and then Kobbie Mainoo, Noah Lang, Lorenzo Luca, your thoughts. Here as always, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio. Ciao.